In this last MultiTerm tutorial, I'm going to cover term-based management within MultiTerm, and I'll give some brief comments on importing and exporting term bases to and from MultiTerm. So we're back in the MultiTerm application, and I'd like to point out some term-based management features of MultiTerm. So if I click on term-based management in the bottom left corner of the application, I'm going to get some useful information about my term bases. By just clicking on the name of a term base, I get some metadata and statistics about the term base, the number of entries in the term base, the number of entries per language in the term base, the number of terms per language in the term base, and then the overall coverage per language of the term base. If I go to the definitions tab, I can get information about the structure of my term base. So in this view, I'm getting information about the languages in the term base. I'm getting information about the entry structure. What are the data categories or fields that I've included at each level of the term base? Are they mandatory? Can multiple instances of that specific data category be associated with a concept entry at the concept language or term level? Finally, I'm getting some information about the descriptive fields. Am I saving history for those descriptive fields? What type of descriptive field is it? Is it a field that a person would just enter text into? Is it a pick list that has a specific list associated with it, etc.? If I find that I want to or need to print my term-based definitions, I can print a PDF copy of this page by clicking print. And then I can also go ahead and edit my definitions by clicking the edit button, although again, it's important to note that certain aspects of your structure cannot be changed once you've started adding concepts and terms to your term base. If your term base is compliant with ISO 30042, you'll be able to add fields and you'll be able to make certain adjustments. But for some aspects of the term base, once you have terms in there, you're not going to be able to edit the fields. I'd like to point out that if you'd like to export term bases from MultiTerm or import term bases into MultiTerm in XML file format, you can do so by clicking File, going to Import and Export, and then by selecting whichever of these two options make the most sense for you, export term base or import into term base. However, as I said, you can only do so in XML file format, and so if you really want to convert a term base that you have into SDLTB format, or if you want to export an SDLTB term base that you have into spreadsheet format, it would be easier and make a lot more sense to do that using this free application called the Glossary Converter app. How to use the Glossary Converter app is the subject of another tutorial within the LOC 501 course content, so be sure to check that out. I'd also like to note that we're at the conclusion of the set of tutorials on MultiTerm. If you are enrolled in the LOC 501 Terminology for Beginners course, you have all of this information in a MultiTerm work instruction in the course contents. So if you prefer to read through these sorts of tutorials rather than following along with a video, you can certainly do that. Or if you want to download this tutorial and to be able to use it and search it as a quick reference, just head over to your course contents where you will be able to access this, this work instruction. All right, everyone, that concludes this set of tutorials on terminology management in MultiTerm.